Welcome to Speak English with Cath. I'm very happy you're here today. Today, we're talking about something many English learners struggle with, but don't always understand clearly. It's that moment when someone speaks to you in English and your brain becomes slow, not because you don't understand, but because you are translating everything in your head.
Ugh, that's exactly me. When someone talks to me, I understand a little, but before I answer, I try to translate from my language to English, and by the time I'm ready, the conversation is already moving on.
Yes, that feeling can be frustrating. You know the words, you understand the situation, but your brain is doing too many steps. Listen, translate, think, translate again, speak. That process makes you slow.
Yes, and sometimes I feel nervous too, because while I'm thinking, the other person is waiting, and I feel pressure.
That's very normal. And today, we're going to help you change that, not by learning more grammar, not by memorizing more vocabulary, but by changing how your brain uses English.
That sounds interesting. So is translating always bad?
Good question. Translating is not bad when you are learning. In the beginning, it helps you understand, but if you keep translating for too long, it becomes a habit, and that habit blocks your fluency.
So what should we do instead?
We need to start thinking in English, slowly, naturally, step by step. Not perfect English, just simple English inside your mind.
That sounds difficult. My brain always goes back to my first language.
That's okay. We don't stop it suddenly, we guide it. Let's start with a simple situation. Imagine you are at a coffee shop. The staff asks you, "What would you like?"
Okay, I can imagine that.
What happens in your mind?
First, I hear the question. Then I translate, "What would you like?" into my language. Then I think, "I want coffee." Then I translate that into English, "I would like a coffee."
Exactly. That's 4 steps. Now, let's try a different way. You hear, "What would you like?" and in your mind, you answer directly, "Coffee, please."
Oh, that's much faster.
Yes, because you didn't translate, you used a simple answer. This is the key, simple English thinking.
So I don't need to make full perfect sentences?
Smiling tone. No, in real life, people don't always speak perfect sentences. They speak naturally, short, simple, clear.
That makes me feel better, because sometimes I try too hard to be correct.
And that pressure slows you down. Let's try another example. You meet a colleague at work. They ask, "How was your weekend?" What happens in your mind?
I think. First, I translate the question. Then I think about my weekend. Then I try to build a good sentence like, "My weekend was very enjoyable and relaxing."
And how long does that take?
Too long.
Now try this. No translation, just simple thinking. Good. I stayed home, watched a movie.
Oh, that's easy.
And natural, and fast.
But is that okay? It sounds simple.
Simple is powerful. Fluent speakers use simple English all the time. Fluency is not about difficult words. It's about flow.
Flow. I like that word.
Yes, flow means your words come out smoothly, not perfectly, but naturally.
So the problem is not my English, it's my thinking process.
Exactly. You already know more English than you think, but translation is slowing you down. Let's talk about a common emotional moment. You're in a group conversation. People are talking fast. You understand some parts, but before you can speak, the topic changes.
Yes, that happens a lot, and I feel left out.
That feeling is very real, and many learners feel the same. But the reason is not that you are bad at English, it's because your brain is working too slowly, too many steps.
So how can I join faster?
By training your brain to respond simply, let's practice. I'll say something, you respond quickly. No translation. Ready?
Okay, I'll try.
I'm tired today.
Me too.
Good. That movie was interesting.
I liked it.
Nice. I'm hungry.
Let's eat.
Perfect. See? No translation, just quick, simple reactions.
That actually feels fun.
Yes, because you are using English, not analyzing it.
I think I understand now. When I translate, I become slow. When I think simple, I become faster.
Exactly. Now let's go deeper. Sometimes learners translate because they want to sound smart. They want to use big words, but this creates pressure.
Yes, I want to sound good in English.
And that's natural. But remember this, clear is better than impressive.
Hmm, clear is better than impressive. I like that.
If people understand you, you are communicating successfully. That's the goal.
So I should focus on communication, not perfection.
Yes, always. Let's look at another real-life situation. You're talking to a friend. They say, "Do you want to go out tonight?" What happens in your mind?
I think, I translate, then I think, I am busy tonight because I have work. Then I try to say, I'm sorry, but I will not be able to join you this evening because I have responsibilities.
Laugh softly. That's a very long sentence.
Yes, and I forget half of it.
Now try this. No, I'm busy tonight.
Oh, that's so much easier.
And completely natural.
I see the difference now.
Good. Now I want to introduce a small habit. Very simple. During your day, start thinking in English. Not everything, just small things. For example, when you wake up, say in your mind, "I'm tired." When you eat, "This is good." When you walk, "It's hot today."
So I practice inside my head?
Yes, this is private practice. No pressure, no fear.
I like that, because sometimes I feel shy speaking out loud.
And that's okay. We build confidence step by step. Thinking leads to speaking.
That makes sense.
Let's try a small daily scene. You're at home, you look at your phone. What can you say in English in your mind?
I have many messages.
Good. Anything else?
I need to reply.
Perfect. That's exactly how you train your brain. No translation, just direct English thinking.
I feel like this is something I can really do.
You can, and the more you do it, the more natural it becomes.
Will it take a long time?
It depends on practice, but you will feel small changes quickly. Maybe in a few days, you will notice you respond faster.
That would be amazing.
And remember, don't wait for perfect English. Use the English you have now.
That's a good reminder.
You don't need more English to start speaking better. You just need to use it differently.
I feel more confident already.
I'm really happy to hear that. Let's keep going. Let's continue with that feeling you just mentioned, confidence. Because many learners think confidence comes after fluency, but actually, confidence grows while you practice.
That's interesting. So I don't need to wait until I'm fluent to feel confident?
Exactly. Confidence is not something you wait for. It's something you build, step by step, especially when you stop translating and start responding naturally.
I think I understand that now. When I answer quickly, even with simple English, I feel better.
Yes, because you are part of the conversation, and that feeling is very important. Let's explore another real-life situation. You're in a small group at work or school. People are sharing ideas. Someone says, "I think this plan is too expensive." What happens in your mind?
I understand the idea, but then I start translating. Then I think, I agree, or I don't agree. But I try to say something longer, and I get stuck.
That's very common, so let's make it simple. You can say, "I agree," or "I don't think so."
That's enough?
Yes, and you can add a small reason. "I agree, it's too much," or "I don't think so, it's okay."
Oh, that feels much easier.
Because you are not trying to build a perfect sentence, you are reacting naturally.
I see. Reacting is faster than translating.
Exactly. Now let's practice something important, short reactions. These are very powerful in conversation. For example, "Really? That's nice. Sounds good. I see. Right."
Oh, I hear these a lot.
Yes, native speakers use them all the time, and they don't translate them. They feel them.
Feel them. I like that.
Let's do a quick practice. I'll say something, you respond naturally. Ready?
Ready.
I got a new job.
Wow, that's great.
Good. I'm very tired today.
Yeah, me too.
Nice. I'm going on vacation.
That's exciting.
Perfect. See how fast that was?
Yes, I didn't think too much.
That's the goal. Less thinking, more responding.
But what if I don't understand everything?
Good question. You don't need to understand every word. Focus on the main idea. And if you're not sure, you can ask simple questions. For example, sorry? Can you repeat? What do you mean? Oh, I usually feel shy to ask.
Many learners feel that, but asking is a strong communication skill. It shows you are engaged.
That's true.
Let's try a small role play. You're talking to a friend. I'll speak a little fast. You just respond simply. Ready?
Okay, I'll try.
So yesterday I went to this new restaurant and the food was amazing, but a bit expensive, and I think I want to go again this weekend.
Sounds good.
Very good. You didn't understand every detail, right?
Not everything, but I understood the feeling.
Exactly. And your response matched the feeling. That's real communication.
That makes me feel less stressed.
Good. Because stress often comes from trying to understand everything perfectly. Let's talk about another emotional moment. You want to say something, but you're afraid to make mistakes, so you stay silent.
Yes, that happens to me a lot.
What do you feel in that moment?
I feel nervous and also a little embarrassed.
That's very human. But here's something important to remember. Mistakes are part of speaking. Even fluent speakers make mistakes.
Really?
Of course. They just keep going. They don't stop.
I think I stop too much.
Yes, stopping breaks your flow. Instead, keep speaking, even if it's not perfect. Let's try an example. You want to say, I went to the market yesterday and bought some vegetables, but you're not sure. So instead of stopping, say, yesterday, I go market, buy vegetables.
That sounds broken.
Yes, but it communicates, and that's the first goal.
So it's okay to be imperfect?
Absolutely. Perfection comes later. Communication comes first.
I think I've been focusing on the wrong thing.
Many learners do. Let's shift your focus. Instead of asking, is this sentence perfect? Ask, can people understand me?
That's a big change.
And a powerful one. Now let's build a slightly longer response, but still simple. Imagine someone asks, what did you do today? Don't translate, just think in English. Try.
I worked, then I went home and watched TV.
That's excellent. Simple, clear, natural.
I didn't feel stuck that time.
Because you didn't translate, you trusted your English.
Yes, I think trust is important.
Very important. Trust your words, even if they are simple. Now let's talk about speed. When you translate, your speaking speed is slow. When you think in English, your speed improves. But don't rush. Natural speed will come with practice.
So I shouldn't try to speak fast.
No. Speak clearly first. Speed will follow.
That makes sense.
Let's do a slightly deeper role play. You're talking to a coworker. I'll start. Hey, are you free this afternoon?
Yes, a little.
Great. Can you help me with a report?
Okay, I can help.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
That was very natural. How did it feel?
Surprisingly easy.
Because you stayed simple. Now let's try another one, but this time you were busy. Hey, are you free this afternoon?
Sorry, I'm busy.
Ah, okay. Maybe tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow is good.
Perfect. This is real-life English. Short, clear, human.
I'm starting to feel more relaxed.
That's a good sign. Relaxation helps your brain work better. When you're tense, your brain blocks.
Yes, when I'm nervous, I forget everything.
Exactly. So here's a small tip. Before you speak, take a small breath, then say something simple.
Just a small breath.
Yes, it calms your mind and gives you a moment to think in English.
I will try that.
Good. Now let's build your habits stronger. I want you to practice thinking in English with questions. For example, ask yourself, what am I doing? Then answer, I'm sitting. I'm listening. I'm drinking coffee.
Oh, like talking to myself.
Yes, but in English.
That's interesting.
It may feel strange at first, but it's very powerful because you train your brain to stay in English.
I think I can do that at home.
That's perfect. Now let's imagine another daily situation. You're at a store. The staff asks, "Do you need help?" What do you say?
Just looking.
Excellent, short, and natural.
Before, I would try to say something longer.
And that would slow you down.
Yes.
Now you're choosing speed and clarity. That's real progress.
I feel it.
I'm really glad. Let's keep building this feeling. Because the more you practice this way, the more automatic your English becomes. And when English becomes automatic, you don't need to translate anymore.
That's my goal.
And you are already on your way. Let's continue.
Let's stay with that idea. Automatic English. Because this is where everything starts to change. When your brain begins to use English without translating, you feel lighter, you feel faster, and most importantly, you feel free.
Free. That's a strong word.
Yes, because many learners feel trapped in their own thoughts. They want to speak, but translation holds them back.
That's exactly how I feel sometimes. Like I'm stuck inside my head.
And today, you've already taken a big step out of that by choosing simple English, by responding naturally, by letting go of perfection.
I can really feel the difference. It's not about knowing more words, it's about using what I already know.
Exactly. Now, let's bring everything together in a longer, real-life conversation. Imagine you meet a friend after work. I'll start, and you respond naturally. Ready?
Ready.
Hey, how was your day?
It was okay. A bit busy.
Yeah? What did you do?
I had meetings and worked on a report.
Sounds like a long day.
Yeah, I'm tired.
Do you want to get something to eat?
Sure, that sounds good.
Great, let's go.
That felt smooth.
Because you stayed present. You didn't go back to your first language. You stayed in English.
Yes. I didn't translate.
Now, let's try a slightly more emotional situation. You want to say no to a friend. Sometimes this is difficult, even in your own language. Ready?
Okay.
Hey, can you help me tonight?
Sorry, I'm really tired.
Oh, just for a short time?
Maybe tomorrow.
That works. Thanks.
That felt natural, too.
Yes, because you didn't try to explain everything perfectly. You kept it honest and simple.
I think before I tried to say too much.
And that made you stuck.
Yes.
Now, let's talk about something important. Consistency. This change will not happen in one day, but it also doesn't need years. What matters is small daily practice.
So I should practice every day?
Yes, but keep it simple. You don't need hours, just a few moments during your day. Think in English. Respond quickly. Use simple sentences.
That feels doable.
Let me give you a small daily routine. Very easy. Morning, say 3 simple sentences in your mind. I'm tired. I need coffee. Today is busy. Afternoon, react to things around you. That's interesting. I like this. This is difficult. Evening, think about your day. I worked. I talked to my friend. I learned something new.
That's very clear.
And very powerful, because you are building the habit of thinking in English.
I like that it's simple.
Simple is what creates consistency. Now, let's talk about mistakes again, because even with this method, you will still make mistakes.
Yes. I know that will happen.
And that's okay. Don't stop. Don't go back to translating. Just keep going.
So keep speaking even if it's not perfect.
Yes, always choose flow over perfection.
Flow over perfection. I'll remember that.
Good. Now I want you to imagine something. 1 month from now, you are in a conversation. Someone asks you a question, and instead of freezing, you answer quickly. Not perfectly, but naturally. How does that feel?
Haha, that feels amazing. I feel more confident, more relaxed.
And that is possible. Not because you learned difficult grammar, but because you changed your habit.
I think that's the biggest lesson today.
Yes, fluency is not only about knowledge, it's about how you use your mind.
I really needed to hear that.
And I'm really glad you're here learning step by step. Before we finish, let's do one final practice together. Very simple. I'll say something, you respond quickly. No translation, just feeling. Ready?
Ready.
I'm so happy today.
That's great.
I'm a bit stressed.
Take it easy.
I got good news.
Nice.
I'm not feeling well.
Hope you feel better.
That was beautiful. Simple, natural, human.
I didn't think too much.
And that's exactly the point. Less thinking, more speaking. Less translating, more feeling.
I feel like I can really improve now.
You absolutely can. Just remember, start small, stay simple, be consistent, and most importantly, trust yourself.
Thank you, Cath. This really changed how I see learning English.
You're very welcome. And to everyone listening, if you often feel stuck because you translate in your head, you are not alone. But now you have a new way. Think in English. Speak simply. Let your words flow. You don't need perfect English to connect with people. You just need real English. Thank you so much for spending this time with us today. Keep practicing, keep going, and be kind to yourself in the process.
See you next time.
Take care and keep speaking.